Thanks for coming to J&N Travels Podcast with your hosts, John and Nancy.
Hi.
We will discuss everything travel, including cruising, Disney World, other general travel, snowbirding tips, trivia, and other fun things.
Thanks for joining us. Each podcast contains 2 segments with travel information. We also have Nancy's Trivia, travel fun facts, and snowbird tips. We have been getting some questions emailed to us and will answer one question on each podcast. If interested in sending us a question or making up a comment, email us at j&ntravels@yahoo.com. Please check out our J&N Travels Facebook page, J&N Travels merchandise store, our J&N Travels YouTube channel, and visit our podcasts on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and Apple. Our information for everything is listed below. We like to start off each podcast with Nancy's Trivia. Nancy, that's me, will give you the trivia questions now, and she will give you the answers towards the end of our podcast. I would like to make a special announcement. Most of the comments that we have received are that the majority of listeners prefer an audio podcast opposed to one with a lot of video. The main reasons given are that they like to listen while doing house chores, driving, or walking, which makes a lot of sense. We will slowly be moving over to mainly an audio version. Please put any comments below or email us at j&ntravels@yahoo.com.
Nancy, every week we like to start off our show with some trivia. You like to ask about 3 questions of trivia to our listeners, and then at the end of the show, we'll give the answers. So, what are your 3 trivia questions today?
Well, the first one is, what is the name of Wendy's dog in Peter Pan?
Okay, so these look like they're all trivia questions,
Yeah.
huh? I mean, Disney trivia questions.
Yes,
What
it's
is the
Disney
name?
trivia today.
What is the name of Wendy's dog in Peter Pan? You know, I knew it, but I can't think of it
I
now.
can't think of it either. Number 2, what land is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad located in?
What land is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad located in? Okay, I know that one.
And this one I know. Number 3, what does Hakuna Matata mean?
What does Hakuna Matata mean? I know that too. So I
Yeah.
knew 2 out of 3, I think.
Yeah.
We'll find out when you give the answers later in the show.
Yeah.
For our first segment today, Nance, we're going to discuss the Disney Garden and Flower Festival from our point of view. This is the first time we had the annual pass, so we visited this festival many times. We really enjoyed it, and these are the different aspects of it that we viewed and we enjoyed. So I guess the first thing to talk about, even though we didn't partake of this, was the food and drinks. Like all other Disney festivals, the food and drinks, there was a variety, there was a sampling, usually small quantities of some kind of food at a very expensive price. So, the same as the festival we went to for the arts, there were different ones. There was a totally different menu and different kind of drinks to enjoy. So that's something if you're a foodie or you're into food and drinks, trying different ones. This is another festival you can try different things. So before we move on, Nance, is there anything you would like to touch on with the food and drinks?
Yeah, I'll just give you some examples of what you can get for food. You can get a grilled warm water lobster tail with key lime butter. You can get a cubanito with mojo marinated pork belly, ham, Swiss cheese, pickles, and stone ground mustard sauce. You can get for drink a Florida strawberry shortcake. Oh, that was a dessert. For a drink, you can get a cucumber watermelon slushy, non-alcoholic, or a cucumber watermelon slushy with Jim. You can get seared scallops with French green beans, marbled potatoes, and bacon vinaigrette.
Okay, thank you, Nance. That's a little bit of information on the foods that we did not taste, but you may want to try out. So let's move on to our next section, which is they put up birdhouses and feeders.
Yes.
Now that was done right around the back of where I call it Club Cool, in front of the gift shop.
Well, they say it's between Creation Shop and Test Trap.
Okay, and that was on, if you're walking so that the water is on your left, that section between the pathway and the water, they have a bunch of Purple Mountain houses, right?
Yes. And on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1, you can join members of the Disney Animal Science Environmental Team to get an up-close look at the birds' nests in the Purple Mountain resorts.
And right across from the Purple Mountains, they set up a bunch of feeders, including hummingbird feeders.
Mm-hmm.
The thing we found unusual was we went there numerous times by that area and not once saw birds feeding on the exotic seeds they had put out.
No, we have not seen that either.
The most beautiful part of this festival, of course, Nancy, is the flowers.
Yes.
And there was many varieties. There were butterflies that were made out of flowers, giant butterflies. There was patterns on the ground with all sorts of flowers. Planters that were floating planters in the waters that had flowers. And we actually noticed the difference from the very first day we went of how much the flowers were filling in and getting bigger, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Which flowers stick out in your mind?
Well, the impatiens and the petunias are very pretty. The purple and pink petunias, they're gorgeous, and the red impatiens.
One thing I would highly recommend if you can't go into the festival and you want to see the flowers, take the free monorail from the transfer station and which goes inside the EPCOT from above on the monorail, and you can look down and see a lot of these beautiful flowers.
Yeah, you have a sneak peek.
Right. It's a good tip if you're not going to pay for that day
Yeah.
in the park. There's just colors everywhere. The whole park
Hmm.
was loaded with different kind of flowers. I don't know how many flowers there were, what the number is, but it's incredible.
Yeah.
The colors and the amount of flowers and the variety of flowers.
Very pretty.
What were those flowers? Remember in the winter for the holidays, they always do a poinsettia Christmas tree where they do potted poinsettia plants up to make look like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And they did the same with some flowers at this one, right?
Yeah. I don't know if they were the impatient. I think they were the
It might have been
impatiens.
the impatience.
Yeah.
But the flowers are the most incredible thing because you see these everywhere. You just walk around and look at them. As you're walking around Epcot and you're getting close to the Imagination Pavilion, right outside of the Imagination Pavilion, right after the Land Pavilion, is a very large tent, a netted tent, which houses butterflies.
Yeah, it's called the Butterfly Landing.
And that was quite impressive.
Very impressive. Yes, I enjoyed that.
When we started out, there was a decent amount of butterflies, but the more you went in there, the more you'd see the butterflies. And they had those, I don't know if I'm calling them right, but it was like a hatching box.
Yes.
And there were lots of those around. So those would actually hatch, more butterflies would hatch out of cocoons
Out
and
of their chrysalis.
chrysalis, yeah, and fill that tent
Yep.
to add to it. So there's more the further you go along. And you can put a lot of the times you can, if you're very steady, you put your finger out, you can get one of those butterflies to actually pump on your
Yeah.
finger.
Otherwise, you could just observe the many species of butterflies up close.
Right. So it's a netted tent. It's the doorway is made of beads so that the butterflies won't fly out. You go through from either end, and you walk around the pathway. There are plants on both sides, flowers that the butterflies prefer, some water sources. It's just very lovely area to look at.
Yeah, very nice.
And some very colorful butterflies. We saw a couple strange ones, right? Like that green one. And,
Yeah, I don't know what kind that was. I know the one I really liked was the zebra butterfly. That was interesting.
okay, so then you move out of the tent, and then we move to probably one of our what we were most impressed by, which was the topiaries.
Oh, those were remarkable.
Now we have our favorites. We walked around. I think every area had some topiaries. I think Nancy counted about 30 of them or so. We do have all the stuff that we're talking about. We do have on videos coming out. But what were some of the topiaries, Nancy, that they had?
Well, I'll name the topiaries. Yeah, there were, I think I counted 30. Okay, here's a list of all the topiaries. Disney Wish with Aisha, Figment, Topiary Flowers, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Pluto, and Chip and Dale, Topiary Butterflies, Simba and Friends, Puma and Timon, Goofy, Woody, Bo Peep and her sheep, Disney's Encanto, Mirabel, Antonio, Isabella and Luisa, Bambi and Friends. In Canada, you could see the geese. United Kingdom is Peter Pan, Captain Hook, and Tick Tock Croc. Japan's The Dragon, The American Adventures, Tiana. United Kingdom, Winnie the Pooh and Friends, Tinkerbell's Fairy House Garden. Italy, Lady and the Tramp. Germany, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. International Gateway is the Topiary Butterfly. China is the Pandas. France, Beauty and the Beast, Lumiere and Cogsworth. Norway, Anna and Elsa and the Troll. Between France and Morocco, Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. Mexico is Disney Pixar Coco with Miguel and Dante. Near Test Track is Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Near Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company is Donald Duck. And near Mission Space, Buzz Lightyear, and new this year, Groot.
And that's one of your favorites,
Yes.
Groot, of course, Baby Groot.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of great ones. We love the Lion King, and you love the Miss Piggy and Kermit.
I love Simba and Friends. They did a
Simba,
phenomenal
yeah.
job with Pumbaa and Timon.
So make sure you see those and take a picture of every topiary. Okay. So now, Nance, we move on to the final thing and our impressions on. To me, this is almost worth the ticket itself for us. We would never have gone to these concerts if they weren't being held in the Epcot for the festival. And the way they ran these is they would have a band. The band would either be there for two or three nights, and they would do three shows. What were the times of the three shows?
5:30, 8, and I'm sorry, 5:30, 6:45, and 8, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. And if we liked the performer and they had a wide variety of music hits, we would stay for all three shows. If we didn't care for them, they would usually play their one or two hits in the first set and we could leave. An example of a couple of these were the singer from Chicago and the ELO group and Pointer Sisters all had enough hits that they warranted us to stay for all three shows. So the ones that we saw, it started with the Vibe, which was a local band.
Yeah.
We weren't. It was a good warm
They were
up
okay,
band.
yeah.
And that was about it. But it's not someone you'd heard of. Then the ones we heard that we enjoyed was Berlin, Rick Springfield, ELO, Chicago, Pointer Sisters, Modern English, Flock of Seagulls, and Jody Messina. And there are a few others that we didn't see, like the Commodores. The ones we saw, I would have to say by far were probably our favorites were the ELO, the Chicago group, and Pointer Sisters. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, and I enjoyed Rick Springfield as well.
Okay, so those were our top ones. But there are some groups that we missed, and just to point them out in case you want to catch them next year, what were they, Nance?
Well, Richard Marx, Evolution Motown, a local band called Foreigner Journey, a local Orlando band.
That was strictly a tribute band.
Yeah, it was strictly a tribute band, yeah. And Crowder.
Okay, so those are some groups that we did miss that you might want to catch next year. So at this time, Nance, I'd just like you to talk about if you would recommend this festival to anyone coming down to, I guess, would you recommend it as a one-day ticket to go in or just to do if it was part of their annual pass or something? What did you think about the festival as a whole?
Well, I think you get more value if you're an annual pass holder because you can come in as many times as you want to see the beautiful topiaries, and you can pick the concerts that you want to see. And there's plenty of great, musicians that play at Epcot. So I think it's a good value with the season pass.
No, and that's a very good point. We would never have gone to the concerts, and we saw about 10 of them at least, if we didn't have the annual pass. We went in some nights just to see the concert. Also, it was amazing watching the butterfly tent fill up with butterflies and watching all the flowers grow and get bigger over time. Over the how long do we say that the
It's almost
festival is?
3 months.
It's about 3 month festival.
Yeah.
So that's 3 months of everything growing too. So and the birds coming. So there's so many things. If you have like an annual pass, would you recommend it if someone was just coming down for a week to buy a 1 day pass?
Oh yeah, I would. I would buy a 1 day pass, and I would try to coordinate that with someone that you might want to, some musician that you might want to see. If you can coordinate that, that would be a bonus.
You're paying for the Epcot ticket anyways. All this other stuff is included with that 1 day ticket. So pick a group, come down when you can, pick a group that you like to hear, come and enjoy the festival, and then you can also do all your attractions. So that's what we're both in favor of this festival. We both think it's a great thing to do, either for a day or for a season.
I agree.
Okay, thank you. This is the part of the show where you give your fun facts. So what fun facts you have to share with us all today?
Soda facts that might surprise you.
Interesting.
Okay, number 1, the name soda comes from sodium.
Okay.
Number 2, commercially available soda was available only in pharmacies at first.
I kind of knew that.
Yeah, artificially carbonated beverages were linked to naturally sparkling water, which had long been thought to provide health benefits. Since pharmacies are all about distributing medicines that provided health benefits.
Yeah, you always see the soda at the soda fountains there, and it was also served in the pharmacy.
Yep. Number 3, you can use soda to remove rust. Most soft drinks contain phosphoric acid, which is also found in commercial cleaning products and is known as a rust removal agent.
Yeah, you always saw commercials where they use Coca-Cola. I didn't realize it was all soda that could be used. It's kind of scary when you think you're drinking the same thing that's strong enough to
I
remove rust, huh?
know, I know. Number 4, humans purchase 6,700 aluminum soda cans every second.
That's really hard to believe.
Wow. Number 5, diet soda has pretty much disappeared. It wasn't long ago that diet soda was everywhere. Today it's hard to find a soda that uses the word diet in its name. Marketers have determined that young people today find the idea of dieting to be distasteful for various reasons. At the same time, many of them are health conscious and don't want to consume sugary drinks. As a result, diet drinks have been renamed to sugar-free drinks.
Playing with the mind again.
Number 6, you'll find some funky soda flavors if you travel a lot. Curry flavored soda is a hot item in Japan. Bird's nest flavor soda is popular in Vietnam.
That's easy.
I know. Tamarind flavor is all the rage in Mexico, and even here in the United States, you'll find gravy, turkey, and pickle flavored sodas. I haven't had any of those.
No, well, they're in specialty places
Yeah.
probably.
Number 7, the original name for root beer was root tea.
Hmm.
And number 8, artificially carbonated water was invented in 1767.
Interesting facts, Nance. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Follow John and Nancy from J&N Travels as they snowbird in Florida for the winter months. Snowbird tip. One of our favorite candy stores is Goofy's Candy Company, located in Disney Springs near the Rainforest Cafe. We always enjoy the Rice Krispie treats and candy apples.
For our second segment, we'd like to discuss the 3 years of snowbirding that we've done in the Airbnbs and maybe rank them, maybe tell you listeners which ones that we would lean towards. Now, we've been snowbirding for 3 years, 3 winters. We've Airbnb'd in those 3 years for 37 weeks during the winter in Airbnb resorts. We've also spent 30 days of snowbirding in hotels, and the hotels fall into place maybe on the way down. Maybe once we get down here, we get here early, so we have to find a hotel, or between resorts, we need to find a hotel. Once we left here, we spent a week down here extra, and then we went up to Helen, Georgia for a meetup, and that was a week down, another week down here, another week up in Helen, Georgia. So those are the places where we use the hotel. That's just kind of fillers. So I guess the best way to do this, Nance, is we've done a total of 6 Airbnbs, and those 6 are Windsor Hills, Cane Island Resort, Runaway Beach Resort, Windsor Palms, Westgate, Timeshare Resort, and the Blue Heron. These are all in the Kissimmee, Orlando area. That's all we've spent our time, our snowbirding time so far. So those are the ones we'll talk about. So if you're coming down to this area, all these places are near Disney. Some are closer than others. They're all full kitchen, washer dryer, heated swimming pool, stuff like that. Those are all similar, but each one has a little different value. So we put them in order. None of these were bad, but we've put them in order of our least favorite to our favorite. So we'll start with our very first Airbnb in Florida ever, which was back in 2022, the year we retired, and that was called Windsor Hills. Windsor Hills was located over by near the Westgate, over towards the Animal Kingdom in Disney. So, what did you think of Windsor Hills, Nance?
Well, the condo was very beautiful. It was very spacious. I think we had 3 large bedrooms, which was lovely. And it was a nice gated community. So that was very safe. The pool was okay, a little shallow, I would say, but it was fairly warm.
The remember I had that pond. Every morning we would take walks down the sidewalk. It would go by a pond, and there was always an alligator or two in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that was cool.
So that was very fun. My big, you're right. It was a huge place. The rooms were big. It had all the full kitchen, the
Mhm.
washer dryer, all that stuff. The big negative thing with us was, like you said, the pool. It was a big pool, but it only went to like 3 feet deep, which obviously it barely covers you at 3 feet deep. And even though it was supposedly heated, it was not that warm. It was
No,
pretty cool. The other thing is they had the two large water slides, but the things weren't wet enough that you kept on sticking on the slide down. So
yeah,
I remember I did it once, and my son did it once, and then we gave up. And I don't think you two, even
no,
my
I
daughter,
didn't
did it
do
at
it.
all.
Yeah,
So yeah, so that's what puts Windsor Hills on the bottom of our list. Location was nice. It was down the street from a Walmart, like we said. There's a back road you could take from there to take you down to the Animal Kingdom and Disney. Plenty of restaurants and stores around, like all of these places that we're talking about. So that makes it to the sixth place on our list.
yeah,
Okay, like I said, none of these are bad. Some are just better than others. We move up to number 5 on the slot, Cane Island Resort. That we stayed at this year. When we came down the very first month of the season in January, we stayed at the Windsor Hills. I'm sorry, the Cane Island Resort. We like this place.
yeah. We did. The condo was spacious. Again, it was a lovely condo, 2 bedroom. And the location was great. We could walk to the Dollar Tree. We could walk to Aldi's grocery store.
Well, the funny thing with this is we got down early, so we stayed 3 nights at a hotel. Turns out you could see this resort from the hotel. It
Yeah,
was
that's
right next
right.
to it, so that was nice and convenient.
Yeah,
And like you said, it was good size, 2 bedrooms, full kitchen, nice little balcony overlooking the pond,
yeah, it was nice.
with some colorful birds and stuff. We usually don't get into the game rooms and stuff, but we actually played a lot of
Oh,
pool.
yeah, that was really fun. I forgot about the pool that we played there. Yeah, that was real fun.
We had a nice little pool table, no, not little, the regulation size pool table and
Yeah,
a foosball table,
yeah, we played pool there. It was really fun.
and then kind of a quaint area to just sit around in the lobby before you go to the unit. Now, the one thing we didn't love about this is the pool was very small,
Yeah,
and it was January, so hardly anyone was in the pool, even though it was supposedly heated. But I can't imagine how that pool would be, in March and April and stuff like that in the summer. It was just
yeah,
so
when the
small.
crowds got thick, I don't think that would have been a good pool.
But for us, it was great because we've been volunteering at a place called Give Kids a World, and this was probably the closest resort of any that we're going to talk about
Hmm.
to Give Kids a World. So for that first month, it was very convenient. Grocery store was right there; you could
Yeah,
walk to it. So it had a lot of good things going for it. I would stay there again.
yeah,
But
I would stay there again as well.
so that's number 5 on our list. So we move up to number 4, which is a Runaway Beach Resort.
Oh, I really like the Runaway Beach. We were on the first level. It wasn't as spacious. We only had 1 bedroom, but they did have a couch that could pull out into a bed. So if you had to have guests, you could use that. But the area was so pretty. They had several pools that we could choose from because the Holiday Inn was next door and we had access to those pools.
Well, and this was probably of all the resorts the had the most positives and negatives on cons and pros on the list because, like you said, the it was the only place we've ever stayed at that had was on the ground floor.
Yeah.
The pro of that was it was very convenient. Backed the car right up to the
Oh,
door,
yeah, that
took
part
everything in.
was very convenient.
We like to keep the doors open. There were 2 doors to let the air circulate. The con was we weren't thinking that as we start getting into the warmer weather in Florida,
Mm.
we started seeing a lizard cross the threshold. And when we were going down the pool, we saw a snake and we started talking, we're on the first floor.
Yeah.
That snake could crawl right into our place if we
Yeah,
didn't
that was
want to.
quite a large snake that we saw. Yeah.
So we didn't want to. So that was one of the things we hesitated in leaving the doors open from then
Yeah.
on. So that was the pro of being on the first floor, and the con, like you said, beautiful unit, but it only had 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
So that made it tight. We didn't have anyone come down, so that was fine.
Yeah, it was fine for us.
Had the washer dryer, had the
Yep.
full kitchen.
Yep.
Very convenient location. It was kind of midway between a couple of the resorts, but like you had mentioned, probably one of the biggest draws. You'd walk past the pond they had, which ducks you could hand feed,
Yeah,
and you go up to their pools, or two pools and a hot tub
they were
that
nice.
belonged to that property.
Yeah,
But they also had a deal with the timeshare unit, Calypso Bay,
that's right.
and
Yeah.
the Holiday Inn that you could use any of their facilities. So we basically got to use a Holiday Inn mini golf that was
That was a lot
included.
of fun. I
Yep.
really enjoyed that course.
And we also went into the pool, which is very nice heated themed pool.
With a slide, it had
Right,
a nice slide.
right. And actually had two pools, yeah,
Yep,
and a nice slide. So the pools were great here.
they were
Unit
fantastic.
was great, but it was a little small on the smaller side. So that's why that made it to number 4 on our list. We moved to number 3, and that was in 2023. We moved to Windsor Palms, which is in 2023 also. This probably was our favorite pool in Florida since
Yeah,
we stayed.
yeah.
We've actually had access to probably 30 different pools, and this is probably our favorite. And that even beats the Blue Heron, which we're going to come to at the end, which has a huge pool. But this one was a saltwater pool.
It was a saltwater pool. Yeah.
And the way it was designed, where you had it was like six. There was a middle side of the pool which was deeper.
Hmm.
No, I think that was shallower, and then it had 4 spots that went off in each direction, and each one was a different depth. So you literally, if you had a kid, could go in the shallower one and just stay in that area, or you could go in the deeper area. So this was great, and the pool was warm, very warm.
Yeah, I remember it was very warm.
And one of the things we had a lot of fun with here for the first time and only time at any of these Airbnbs is this had a very nice pickleball court, actually
Yes.
2 courts. That was when Nancy had her first taste of an injury in pickleball and fell and broke her arm. But up until that point, we were having a lot of fun playing pickleball.
Yes.
What else was at this one? There was a basketball court. We never used
No,
that.
we never used that.
The room itself, it was a 3 bedroom, right? It's a big, good size, second floor,
Yeah.
3 bedrooms, had all the same amenities that the others did with the full kitchen and washer dryer. And one of the things I didn't mention with any of these, because I don't remember them exactly clear, but some of them had, like the Blue Heron that we're going to get to, had strictly local TV, like cable TV, which was horrible.
Mm.
And when you're doing stuff all day in Florida, you want to come back and flick on the TV. So now one of the things I require when I get a room is a smart TV.
Yeah.
So most of these had a smart TV, and a lot of them will include your Netflix, your Disney Plus,
Yeah, I enjoyed the Disney Plus
your
having that.
right, and different stuff like that. So that is a big thing you want to look for when you're booking one of these. But the Windsor Palm was a great, had everything you wanted to,
Yeah, it had everything.
and we liked it a lot, and that made it to number 3 on our list.
Yep.
Number 2 on our list is a little deceiving. It's the Westgate. It's actually a Westgate timeshare. We went there in 2022. This was the first spot. This is the first year when we left Windsor Hills. We went over to the Westgate, and we stayed there for 5 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
This was a very unusual situation because I found it through Airbnb. I booked the 5 weeks. I was dealing with someone across the ocean who had never been over here.
Yeah, I was a little skeptical. I
Yeah.
go, I hope this is legit.
And I was new at this Airbnb, so I didn't know how much I was going to trust it, but we gave it a go. The way it works is I guess he owned time sharing and they get bonus weeks, so a lot of these people put the bonus weeks up on Airbnb. Not sure if they still do this. But if you're not familiar with Westgate, these are all gated communities. It's huge. It's got 15 pools.
Yeah, and they're all lovely.
Yeah. It's got a water park. It's got a swan pond with beautiful live swans swimming, but it all
Oh.
has swan boats.
Yeah, they have the swan boats. You paddled them. They were fun.
Let's see, there's miniature golf. We played the
yeah.
most miniature golf anywhere at this place.
Oh, we played so much miniature golf. And they had bikes that you could ride
Free
all
bike
around
rentals.
the complex.
Right?
Yeah.
Free bike rentals, and trying to think, they had a little train shuttle that would bring you around the complex.
Yeah.
They had featured stuff at the pool every day, make your own Sundays, stuff like that.
And they had different craft classes you could participate in. I think they had, drawing on a wine glass one time. and I can't remember what other activities they had, but they had several.
If you're ever lucky enough to get this place, make sure you request the towers. Like the main check-in place is called the town hall. Get one of the adjoining towers to the town hall. This was something we didn't know about. The woman who checked us in did it as a favor for some reason, and she put us in this unit, and it was the most beautiful place on there. It was only one bedroom,
Yeah, it was small, but it was lovely. It was brand spanking new. It was gorgeous.
but it overlooked the Swan Pond, and they treated you like a hotel. They were bringing you coffee and
Yep, all you had to do was pick
con
up the phone and ask
right.
for a package, and you got, dishwashing detergent and toilet paper and coffee.
Now I heard Westgate is changing some of these policies for Airbnb, so make sure you ask for the stuff that we mentioned. It's very conveniently located. It's walking distance to a Walmart. You can also walk to some shops on the main road, 192. It's right off of 192. And it also has access to that back road to get to Animal Kingdom. So this made it to number 2 on the list. Beautiful place. I don't think we'll ever get it again because of the way we got it. But if we did, we'd probably jump on it at some point.
Yeah, I agree. We would jump on it.
And our number 1 place is called the Blue Heron. The Blue Heron is where we're staying, where we stayed this year for 2 months. We stayed there for 1 month in 2023, and we stayed in a Tower 1 on the 11th floor or the 10th floor?
10th.
On the 10th floor. Then we rebooked this year, and we could only actually, we stayed here for 3 months this year. So we got 2 over in Tower 2 on the 5th floor.
Yep.
If you look at our videos, you could see which room we stayed in, but out of the 3 condos we stayed in, that one was the least favorite of ours. The guy just wasn't keeping it up to date. There was just stuff missing. Then we moved into the last place for 2024, which was back in Tower 1 on the 7th floor.
Yeah.
And this place was tremendous.
Yeah.
All the little nuances.
It's well stocked.
Yep. Nuances, little things they left, and the decor was great. The furniture was all had been replaced. Beautiful place.
Yeah, beautiful.
Blue Heron in general, we'll just talk about the resort a minute. All the units are about the same. It just depends on how much an owner wants to keep up with them.
It overlooks Lake Bryan, so we love the view. There's a gorgeous walk around deck that you can.
Well, basically, yeah, you go to the pool area, right? Tremendously large pool. And like I said, look at our videos, you can see all this stuff. And it's heated.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We were down recently on our stay in pouring rain in a cooler night, and the pool was warm and the rain was pelting down on us. So you can look out on the lake, like Nancy said. You could see motorboats and
jet
skis, right?
Paddle boards.
And all sorts of stuff, kayaks, all sorts of
Yep.
stuff in the lake, and watch it. There's a place that does weddings to the left of this that you can see from your balcony. And maybe once or twice when we're down there, if we time it right, we'll see a great fireworks display that they're shooting off for the wedding. And you can look out, and the view's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
If you go to the front door, and you have to go out your door, and you just walk to the right where the elevators are, you have a beautiful view of downtown Disney Springs and several of the stuff like Tower of Terror and Contemporary and Epcot, and
You can see the Epcot ball.
Right, Epcot ball, and you see the Epcot fireworks. You can see the Disney fireworks every night from Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it's quite a nice view.
And you can see, actually, I think from the back, you can actually see SeaWorld too, from our balcony.
Mm-hmm.
So these units are all basically the same. So I recommend Tower 1 just because of the views are a little bit better. But just do your due diligence and make sure that they have. We kind of came in expecting a full size refrigerator because we've got nothing less in all our Airbnb, and this has what they call an apartment size refrigerator.
Yeah, that was
smaller.
A little disappointing. Yeah.
So just be aware of that. But Blue Heron is our favorite. Now the only downfall we have, biggest downfall, is it seems like when we're in this place, our kids come to visit or family comes to visit. This only has one master bedroom, and then a couple of bunk beds out in the hallway.
Yeah.
And it does have a fold-out couch, but it's not really set up for a big group to stay over or a family to stay over. So it's something we'll have to consider if we're having people come down next year when we're booking, if we want to get a bigger place and give up all the things we like about Blue Heron, or if we want to just stay here and work around that. So those are the six. And
It's very convenient. There's a Family Dollar you could walk to and some gift shops. Also, there's a miniature golf course that you can walk to.
that you pay for.
You pay
sure.
for, yeah.
But you're right.
But it's nice. You can walk to it, and you can also walk to several restaurants. Like you could walk to the Golden Corral. You can walk to Applebee's.
Well, there's a microbrewery, and there's
Microbrewery.
I forget what the name of it is. The Caribbean place there. That's
Oh yes, the
I forget the name. And like you said, the Golden Corral.
Yeah.
There's a steakhouse you can walk to. 7-Eleven you can walk to, and if you go across the street, there's a
Walgreens.
Chick-fil-A, a Walgreens, a McDonald's, a Wendy's.
Yeah.
These are all places that are in walking distance. And like Nancy said, we've never spent so much time at the Dollar Tree picking up odds and ends as
Oh
we have.
yeah.
And there's also a buffet across, right next door there, right next to Dollar Tree, the one with the pot you put the food in, the buffet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hot pot or something like that.
Yes. Yep.
And there's
So,
another
walk-
restaurant.
You
Yeah,
don't
so
go hungry. You can walk to these places, and yeah, if you don't have a car, you can certainly walk to these great
Right.
restaurants.
So, quick summary: these are all great places, but our top place is the Blue Heron, which is actually in Orlando. The Westgate Timeshare Place, the Windsor Palms is third. Runaway Beach Resort fourth. Cane Island Resort fifth, and sixth is Windsor Hills. If you have any questions, just send us an email. It's j&ntravels@yahoo.com, or you can put in a comment below, and we will answer you. So thank you for joining us. So Nancy, we're getting to the end of our show, and we're waiting to hear the answers to your trivia questions.
Okay, the answer to the Disney trivia question. Number 1. What is the name of Wendy's dog in Peter Pan?
No idea.
Nana.
Nana, okay. I was thinking that was one of the kids or something. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't remember that either. Number 2. What land is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad located in?
Now, since we've been riding this
I
quite
know.
often, it's I'd say Frontierland, yeah.
And number 3. What does Hakuna Matata mean? No
Of course,
worries.
it's no worries. Yeah,
Yes.
you'd have to be, I guess, a real non-Disney fan not to get that one right.
I know.
Okay, thanks
I
for
think
those.
everybody knows that.
Looking forward to the next set of questions you come up with. This is a part of our show where we answer a question from a listener. We started this out many months ago, and it's caught on pretty good. We get usually a few questions a week. So the one we're going to answer today, Nance, is will you buy a Disney annual pass every year? Now, we bought our first Disney annual pass ever this year because we were down here for 4 months. I would say it's been a huge success.
Yeah,
We've
we loved
enjoyed
it.
it quite a bit. We've gone, by the time we're done, we probably would have visited the parks 40 times
Yeah.
and even dropped by for concerts and a show or something like that. So it's worked out quite well. Will we end up buying it every year, Nance?
Probably not.
No, and it sounds a little contradicting to what I just said, but we feel that if we give it like every third year, we'll really concentrate on doing it every third year, we'll probably enjoy it more. This gives us time in between the passes because we put a lot of time into this Disney pass. It'll give us time to maybe do Universal's, other parks, explore other towns in Florida.
Yeah.
So
Mix it up a little bit.
right, exactly. So the answer to it is probably every 3 years.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're going to send a question in, just email it to j&ntravels@yahoo.com, or you can put it in the comments below. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming to J&N Travels Podcast.